My wife didn't yell. She didn't accuse me. She didn't even sound angry. She just looked up from her phone and calmly told me, "My family will always come first. You're second, maybe third." And in that moment, something inside me went completely silent. Because once someone tells you where you rank in their life, believing them changes everything. If you've ever felt undervalued, financially drained, or quietly pushed aside in your own marriage, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and stay until the end. Because this story isn't about revenge. It's about boundaries and the quiet power of finally choosing yourself. On the surface, my marriage looked fine. Laura and I lived in a modest townhouse. 2 incomes, shared dinners, predictable routines. I was 42, a project coordinator, steady, organized, dependable. Laura was passionate, family-oriented, always juggling someone else's emergency. Her parents needed help with taxes. Her brother needed startup money. Her sister needed a bridge loan. And somehow, those needs always became our responsibility. At least, I thought they were ours. I told myself this was what marriage meant. Supporting each other. Being flexible. Not keeping score. But there was one thing I didn't realize at the time. I was the only one compromising. It was a quiet Thursday evening. Pizza on the table. Streetlights flickering on outside. Laura was scrolling through her phone, narrating her brother's latest business idea like a podcast I hadn't subscribed to. I nodded. I listened. I waited for the inevitable ask. And then she said it. Casually. Without drama. My family will always come first in every decision. She didn't stop there. Your second priority. Maybe third. No pause. No apology. Just honesty. I waited for the follow-up. The joke. The clarification. It never came. She shrugged and added, "Blood is thicker than water." And went right back to typing. I set my pizza down slowly. Not because I was angry. Because something inside me was recalibrating. The room felt different. Like the furniture hadn't moved, but the meaning of everything had. That night, Laura fell asleep easily. I didn't. I sat alone in the glow of my laptop and did something I'd never done before. I planned a life where I came first. I opened a new bank account. Then another. I used my work address. My own email. Each click felt deliberate. Measured. Calm. This wasn't revenge. It was acceptance. I realized how often our shared savings had been redirected. How many family crises never actually ended, only reset. I wasn't reckless. I was methodical. By 2 a.m., I'd scheduled meetings with banks and bookmarked real estate listings I could afford alone. I slept better than I had in months. She accused me of secrecy, of selfishness. I stayed calm. "I'm not refusing to help," I said. "I'm refusing to sacrifice my stability for problems I don't control." She didn't hear boundaries. She heard abandonment. And that told me everything I needed to know. The next morning, Laura kissed my cheek and rushed out. "Family meeting tonight," she called. "Sure," I said, and meant something entirely different than she assumed. By Friday, my accounts were active. I moved only my contributions. She never noticed. She never checked. She was too busy saving everyone else. Midweek, Laura came home tense. Her brother was behind on rent. Again. "We need to help him," she said. I asked a simple question. "When did we discuss that?" She looked confused. Offended. "Since when do you have a problem helping my family?" I met her eyes. "Since you told me where I rank." Silence. Then escalation. When she opened the banking app and saw the balance. Her face changed. "Where did the money go?" "To my personal accounts." The air went cold. She accused me of secrecy, of selfishness. I stayed calm. "I'm not refusing to help," I said. "I'm refusing to sacrifice my stability for problems I don't control." She didn't hear boundaries. She heard abandonment. And that told me everything I needed to know. This story isn't about villains. Laura wasn't evil. She was loyal, to a fault. But love without limits becomes pressure. And generosity without boundaries becomes expectation. Marriage isn't about ranking people. It's about choosing each other. And when someone tells you they won't, believing them is an act of self-respect.